Here. Hello and welcome to our very first Women in Electronics Wednesdays with We. We decided to develop this program because we wanted to have conversation with you and we wanted to talk about some things that matter. So Women in Electronics is about personal and professional development. And so we're trying to incorporate everything. And there's a lot of times we go different places, we see different people are talking about stuff. So let's just talk. Let's just take this time to grab your cup of coffee and let's just chat about stuff. So I have Monica Heisel here from Kemet. Hi, Monica. And
Hi.
Amy Keller from Arrow. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Good.
So we wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you about some things going on right now. So for instance, everything that's going on with the coronavirus and how it's impacting the entire world and how much we're seeing a drastic impact on business right now and how it's changing how we do business and how people are working remote that have never worked remote and what are the challenges with that. Amy, you and I were talking the other day because I'm used to working home and remote and I like it. I have my system down over the years. I feel like I'm very productive, but I'm finding that's not the case with a lot of people. So I don't know. I'll turn it over to you. What do you have to offer for that?
Right. You know, Jackie, I had that call and ask you, from your years of experience of working from home, what are some tips as I get into my groove from social distancing and what that means to my family as I set up my office, my home office, and more screen time and more Teams calls? What does that mean? And, something that I found over the last few days is just having a routine and a regular structure really has helped us tremendously. I mean, I have a sixth grader at home in the house and who has digital lessons now at home. And, so I set up her little desk in the room next door. So when I'm on a conference call, she could be working on some of her lessons at the same time. What are some ideas that you have, Monica, from working from home?
Well, I've been working from home off and on. I travel most of the time, but I have a nice office set up at home, so I'm fortunate to have that. But I totally agree with you on a schedule. You get up, you take your shower, you get dressed, and you walk into wherever your workspace is and you work. I think that's super, super important. I also have really started to embrace more and more this video conferencing. Didn't use it as much before because I'm usually, somewhere else. I'm not in always a great place to have video conferencing, but so important. It's so great to see people. So I've been encouraging my team to get on. Zoom is a great format, WebEx, Skype. We actually use Teams and Skype a little bit at Kemet. But there's some great features where you can blur your background so people don't get distracted with what's behind you.
Yes.
But really seeing people, I think, is key these days for sure.
And it's classic because we were just fiddling around and we had a message, to send out. And earlier, if I could send out the bloopers, it would be so funny because we're trying to get the lighting right and the background right and, everything. So I feel like this is a time, classic. I wish I had video of all that, but it's really, I think, a good time for people to know, okay, these little things, when you're getting ready to get on a conference call, don't just try getting your background worked out and your lighting, know where you're going to be in your house to have these calls very professionally. Make sure you have a quiet environment. Make sure, like you were mentioning, Monica, exercise. So I'm one to get up early. I get right on the computer, and I have to force myself to take a shower. I'll put on my workout clothes if I'm not seeing people that day, and lately I'm not. So I know every day at 12 o'clock, that's my time to go exercise. And if it's raining or something, because I like to get outside, but if it's raining, I do indoor exercises. And I just know for my peace of mind, I have to do that because otherwise you're sitting at a computer all day and you end up just getting super cooped up. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree.
That's great.
Yes, I agree. I've actually on my calendar through the end of April. I don't know how long this sort of shelter in place will, take us, but I have blocked off from 12 to 1 every day just for exercise. And just another little tip, I was talking to one of my directors yesterday and we were talking about a lot of work stuff, and then we we're saying how, you know, we're trying to get exercise in. And so he said, wouldn't it be a great idea to put a challenge out there to make sure we're holding each other accountable, you know, so we don't, you know, just sit around and eat snacks all day while we're working and not get exercise.
Right.
So we went out and grabbed an app called Challenges, and it ties into, you know, your Apple phone, your Apple Watch, and we created some teams so we can start holding each other accountable and getting points. So, and it's working because I'm already a little behind today and I'm feeling the pressure. So.
And then, you know,
great.
Amy, it's funny, you were saying yesterday, I think this is a time too that people have elderly parents to take care of or kids at home. I have 3 children who now, oh my gosh, are all going to be doing homeschool at home. How fun is that? So Amy, you were mentioning a yoga thing with your daughter. Okay, you got to talk about that. It's classic.
That's right. So, you know, yesterday I was looking down at my Apple Watch and I had like 2 rings. You know, I went and walked from the bedroom into the office, and you know, I get this little knock at the door, and it was my daughter, and you know, it was great. It was a stress reliever for us to get out of the office for a little bit, and we went downstairs and we did a 20-minute yoga session, and you know, it was fun, something that she could do with me, and we could stretch a little bit, and then after the 20 minutes, she went back to her lessons, and I went back to my work calls. So it was just something different for us to do together, but yet we could get a little movement in.
I think it's a good point, but also both of you, okay, so both of you are working for companies right now, and I'm wondering, with everything that's gone on, Monica, you and I briefly talked about this the other day, like a reset. So it's like, yes, we want to go back to normal life, but can this situation almost help reset us to a way when we go back, maybe we are incorporating some of this video conferencing and all these things, all these tools that maybe we haven't been accessing. I don't know. What do you think of that?
I think absolutely yes. We should absolutely continue to use these tools. We're forced to right now for the next, I don't know how long, maybe the next 30 days or so. But yes, I think it's great tools. I think also too, you know, I'm usually always on a plane. So 3 weeks out of the month, I'm usually gone and crazy, but I'm also using this time for some self-education. I was down in Mexico a few weeks ago taking a Spanish class. And so I've been able to go out. There's so many resources like iTunes University and Khan Academy and all that. So I went out to iTunes University and grabbed a Spanish class. And so every night my husband and I are spending, you know, half an hour to continue on with the education because, you know, once this all subsides, which I hope is very soon, you know, I won't have as much time. So there's great free resources out there for all of us.
Yeah, we just put out that message for Women in Electronics for our leadership development training for all women in the industry. That's going to be amazing because people who haven't had access, think of all those trainings. I have something too. I signed up for the John Maxwell training because I just think he's an amazing trainer. And I'm so obsessed with leadership development and reading and podcasts and you name it. But I'm taking time also to catch up on a lot of things I haven't done through that training program. So it really is a good opportunity for people to be kind of in your downtime to just develop yourself. And maybe there's some podcasts. I don't know, do you guys have any suggestions? Because I think a lot of people out there now do listen to podcasts. So are there any podcasts that you listen to that are, you know, people would like to maybe hear about?
Right. So, I mean, normally on my way to work, I often listen to TED Talks, just listen to it in the car. You know, I don't necessarily, I can't watch it if I'm driving, but I can listen to it. So there's no reason why you can't just put the TED Talk on or a LinkedIn Learning. A lot of them are short and to the point. So you could do even like a quick lap around the block as you're getting your exercise and listening to something like that. But to your point, Jackie, just use the time to grow and develop some of your skills. You know, I really like the video. The last few days have really forced me to connect with people over video. You know, I think the social distancing
Yeah.
really is going to push us towards video.
Yep.
And those that embrace it are really going to move pretty quickly through this and see far less of an impact than those that, you know, are hesitant to embrace some of the new technology that we have access to. So, you know, there's definitely a lot out there today. We just have to go explore it and be curious to see what else we can incorporate into our daily routines.
Yeah, and
practice
we've
it,
had,
right?
yes, Monica,
Practice it.
you and I have talked about this so much. And Monica, you actually have inspired me so much with diet, working at home, and healthy options and cooking. So I don't know, maybe talk about that a little bit, because you're always coming up with all this good stuff. So.
Well, so I don't know. We were talking about my big bags of Amy's cheese puffs that I got at Costco. So I'm not sure I'm the pillar of nutrition here, but yeah, I think just when everybody else was making a run for toilet paper for some reason, you know, I was really concerned about having enough vegetables. So I've been really concerned about making sure I'm eating properly, eating my fruits and my vegetables. And just because I'm working from home doesn't mean that, you know, every hour on the hour I can get up and run to the refrigerator and grab a snack. So just being aware of that, I think is helpful as well.
Yeah, and so I think, you know, thank you, ladies, for joining today. I think this is super fun. We're trying to keep these Wednesdays with Lee's for like 10 minutes or something, but I feel like I'd love to talk to you guys all day. It's like I could just sit here and chat. It's good to see your faces.
We got to get back to our schedule.
Yes, and let me just say one more thing. I think it's important during these times is that we get our information from proper or reliable sources.
Yes.
I think there's so much out there in social media, and I'm not saying, you know, it's wrong or right or anything, but, you know, let's continue to make sure that we think critically during these times, that we stick to the facts, and we go get our information from sources, the CDC and things of that nature. So I just wanted to say that.
Very good point. And, you know, it just reminds me of, you know, really thinking about the facts over fear. In our last conference, we had a slogan, and it was fear is forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And I believe this is the time to face everything and rise, and do it with credible sources, do it as part of a community, educate ourselves, unite, be better for it later. Thank you, ladies. So fun to have you here today. Have a good, productive day.